All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants with your week one offensive line report. Fifth year of the O-line reports. We're going to go through the good. This may be the most positive content that come out of the Giants week one game because it was pretty brutal unless you're watching a Dexter Lawrence highlight reel. But we're going to start with Andrew Thomas. As always, my favorite part of watching the New York Giants is watching their left tackle. We're going to look at John Michael Schmitz' first game in year two for him, and then we'll do a little bit looking at how the vets went, right? We're going to see where guys are at week one. But one thing, compared to last year, man, last year this was a brutal video week one and beyond where it's just disaster plays, right? Even in their best games, there's disaster plays. There really wasn't those disaster plays for them. There are some plays that weren't that good, but not just these quick initial get their ass kicked type of losses. So let's get into all of it. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Hopefully there'll be some more, different, better content. We have the film review, our podcast. We hit it all with the New York Giants. So I think we're your one-stop shop for New York Giants content. All right, so let's get into it with Andrew Thomas. First play, obviously lined up here at left tackle. Good set. And I just like keeping that left hand free. Right? That's where pass rushers, edge rushers like to attack. They like to attack that outside arm. So first, the feet, 1, 2, read step 3. Right? We got good proportion with the rusher. We're not opening hips, giving him away around the corner. Right? And you got that left hand out there, and 15 Turner goes to swipe it off. Keep it free. Right? So now you got your long right arm on this. You're moving with them. Right? We got the feet to move with him. Keep that left hand free. And then when he puts that arm in a spot where he's not able to use it, now you get that left hand on him. Right? Now you get that left hand on him. Good stuff. And just absorb power, right? Guys don't even really try and beat him with speed anymore. Let's absorb some power. Right? Dallas Turner likes to work speed to power. Didn't have it here. Right? It's just quick out of our passes, right? Bam, bam, bam. Right? Just so quick. Right, so Turner, he can't win around the corner here, right? Thomas is in great proportion with the rusher. So the only way to go through him is what Andrew Thomas does invite pass rushers to do, which he's talked about. I invite the bull rush, right? Because the pass rushers want to attack the hands, so we have your hands out here, and you pull them. You work that little circle technique. Now what that does do, it leaves your chest exposed, right? But with Thomas, even though he pulls those hands, we're placing them. Right as we're getting there, and just absorb the power. Right? See these feet? Bam. Absorb that power. Now you got your hands locked on him. The left guard's giving him the help, and DJ's scrambling to the right. Next play. Here versus Patrick Jones. Again, just absorb that power. Quick pass it. Bam, bam, bam. Again, rushers just know not to work the corner versus Thomas. So he works speed to power. Pass rusher puts his head down. Not really using his hands well. Get your hands underneath him. Stop him from using them. That right hand lands right up here on the chest. Replace your hand. Keep your feet moving. Just anchor and absorb that power. Here, Turner's going to get a little bit, and you see him get to that hop step. Again, he invites the bull rush. That's what Turner's going to do. And Turner gets some power. And watch both feet in the air. Hop step. Bam. Bam. Again. Not the best rep in the world, but absorbing that power when they're getting it. But both feet in the air. Bam. Bam. Good stuff. Next play. Just kill the will of the rusher here. All right, they've got all these guys standing around. Somebody's going to be sent. Good pickup for the whole line. This rusher wants to gear down and do a little hezzy, try and beat you one way. Get your hands on him. stop him. Stop him from forking it, because this is what this rusher wants, right? He wants to break you down and work a little hezzy and get you one way and go the other. No. You want to do hezzy? Bam, I got hands on you. Which way are you going now? Because you're locked on. Again, just so quick out of our stance. Bam, bam. Right, third step. You want to work power? Okay. Just the way he's able to absorb it. Right, you got hands on me. Yeah, we could try and break hands off here. Not the best snap in the world. But just the ability to flex and just power down is beautiful. And then here he's going to face a inside counter spin. Just good, quick feet to recover. Jones actually times up this punch really well, right? Like, he times up this spin extremely well. But what Thomas doesn't do is overset and take an extra step and set this up. Right? So even though Jones times the spin up well, when Thomas is able to drop that right foot, one, we're not dropping it back here and giving him a pass to the quarterback, but we're able to stay horizontal with the line of scrimmage. We're athletic enough, we're washing it down. Right? Where a lot of guys, when they face this right foot drops, instead of here, it's going to drop back here, and that just gives a path to the quarterback, and the ball's out anyways. But still really good. And then this is what I thought was his worst pass protection snap on this quick set and play action. Right, so it's play action. You've got this wide rusher, so we got to get out there, right? We got to stop him from getting any momentum. So we're good here. Just left a little off balance. Right? So we're in this spot because we're quick setting. We're fine working him around the corner. Right? So this is where Thomas is like getting ready to work him around the corner. And the edge rusher, Jones, does a good job countering. Because he sees, okay, this is not a great position for an offensive lineman to be. He's kind of out of, technique where you're just setting and you're just kind of running with a guy. So take advantage of that and put and power into him. It obviously affects the pass. And then I want to go through these next two plays of hey, let's clear up what happened on this. Because, I tweeted out the stats of Thomas with the 0 sacks, 0 hits, and 0 pressures. And people are like, well, what about those two plays? So let's break these two plays down and tell you what happened. The first one is a stunt. And I'm going to show later that Runyon actually did the best I've seen anyone pick up stunts with Andrew Thomas since he's been here. But this one was a bad job. Versus Jihad Ward, by the way, where Runyon just allows him upfield. Right? And so Thomas can't come pick this up right now. Or else Turner's just going to run right at your quarterback. And Singletary doesn't do a great job getting a piece of this. That would have helped a lot. And there's just nowhere for Thomas to go here. So ideally, what would happen, and you'll see it later on where they do a better job, is Runyon, because he's taking a step here because he's got this inside presence. Well, you got to move your feet and get in front of him. Get in front of him. Instead, he gets upfield. He gets into the gap, penetrates. Thomas is in there. If he's right here and Runyon's in front of him, Thomas can step down, and then Runyon can peel off and pick up the stunt. So this sack gets credited with John Runyon, even though it looks like, oh, look, Andrew Thomas gave a sack. And this next one is a lot more simple. They're an empty, no running back, and they run a full 5-man slide. It's simple. They got 6 guys down the line. Right, so they have one more rusher than blockers. We're going to run a full man slide, 3-man slide. Now, we're going to break this down a little more in the film review of the quarterback part of this. But my guess is the Vikings, either they guessed right, or what they did is they had the man from the slide side drop back. Right, so as soon as he's there, but at the same time, because he's over Wandale, maybe that's that they wanted this all along, and then pace drops back, right, to get rid of a hot or possibly what was a hot, even though the hot's usually away from the slide. But this is just, whether you want to blame it on the call or whatever, this is a full slide. That is the call. This man is the quarterback's responsibility. The quarterback is responsible. If he's rushing free, we're supposed to get rid of that ball, and he doesn't. And then in the run game with Tom, I spent over 10 minutes on Thomas. You know what? I'm not mad. Just a couple plays here. A nice drive block on this zone. Right, we get out of our stance. Bam, bam. Get to our landmarks. Keep your feet driving through. Good snap. And then here doing a good job getting to the second level with Manhertz. Right, just does a good job giving that help. Right, you see his helmet's on this side. You want his helmet out here. Bam. You give him Manhertz that help. Get to the second level. But hey, a great debut for Andrew Thomas, unlike last year where he was injured and everything was ruined. So good to see Andrew Thomas. My favorite part of watching the New York Giants play is watching Andrew Thomas, and it's my favorite part of content to do is break him down. Boo! Jump scare. Guess what? The O-line report this year is sponsored by DraftKings. TD, Tutty, taking it to the house, whatever you call a touchdown. Haven't got to experience one of those yet as a Giants fan. They matter more at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Right now, all new customers who bet just $5 will instantly get $250 in bonus bets plus 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Now, that's something we can all celebrate, which again, we didn't have much to celebrate this first weekend. That's $250 in bonus bets instantly and 1 month of NFL Plus Premium after betting just $5. I use this NFL Plus Premium stuff. Stay in on the action and use your $250 in bonus bets to bet anytime touchdowns on DraftKings, which is the place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code WORLD and bet just $5 on any wager and get $250 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code WORLD only at DraftKings Sportsbook. You'll be glad you did. All right, with John Michael Schmitz, I mean, this is his second year, week one, right? So this is important. You know, had a rough rookie year that kind of got worse as the season went along. And I thought he did pretty solid in pass protection. In the run game, the Giants didn't have a ton of opportunities. It was a lot of just assignment stuff and not really like ass kicker technique stuff. And we'll go through some of that. So it's going to be mostly pass protection, which I think he did a solid job. He only gave up like 1 pressure per PFF. I don't think you can take any victory laps because the Vikings don't really have anybody on that interior that tests you as a pass rusher. And next week versus Washington, where, you know, probably his worst game last year against Phidarian Mathis would be a better test for him. So no victory laps, but he did pass a test for them against a weaker Minnesota interior. So let's get into it. First play is actually he's not actually even, you know, blocking someone per se, right? So Ward's not really rushing. This is a third down, so he's kind of spying on Jones. What I like is this. Is something that he struggled with at the end of last year is guys started timing up his punch, right? They figured out the way he punched, when he punched, and they would get, you know, they would slap his arms away with that double swipe move and win. So what you see here is with Ward, not just, you know, giving you that initial contact. Maybe put out that hand, right? Try and get him to like rush it, you know, throw a hand move and then pull it, right? So trying to mistime the D lineman's attack, right? He doesn't rush. All right, we throw that right hand jab, right? Working independent hands. Right hand jab, left hand meet. He backs off, reload our hands, right? Feel outside, make sure we, you know, see if we can help anybody. Punch, reload, mirror your feet. So again, that's just an example of like how he's been working on his hands. All right, so let's get into some more just traditional pass protection. And this is really good. All right, we've got this one tackle over us. We see we throw that left hand out, pull it back, bring our right hand inside, got our feet wide, got hands locked on. He wants to work back this way. Even though we're getting banged up by this, you know, this right here, we're still able to move and work with him. Good stuff. Next play. Get aggressive. Get aggressive right here. All right, you want to change up. You want to change up your pass sets. This one, we're getting aggressive. All right, we're snapping the ball. Bam, we're bringing the punch. We're bringing the punch. We got the hands locked on. We're able to anchor well. Right? We're just winning. Right? D lineman can't use anything with his hands. You got your hands underneath him like that. That stops him from being able to use anything to get you off him. Win. Next play. Right? Just winning. Right? This is pretty simple. Nothing crazy technique-wise. But we get head-to-head. That's what we want. We want the full man relationship. Right? We set towards him. D-lineman works back. We work back. We get our feet underneath us. We got hands inside. Our feet are wide. We got strong hand grip. Not allowing that D-lineman to work anything. Good stuff. Next play. Strong hands again. Right? Strong hand grip. Just shutting down anything that this guy wants. That 94 wants. Doesn't allow him to time up anything with your punch. Get your hands on him. Right? Strong hands. D-lineman's trying to do something. Good play. Now, here were the two most negative. There's other ones that were a little borderline. These were the most negatives, and they're here against Jihad Ward, where he just gives up power on the bull. Right, so Ward is obviously not your typical D lineman, but he's not so good as an edge that when he moves inside, you're worried about him at all. I mean, we know Jihad Ward pretty well. Right, so we're not aggressive in this pass set because you've got a more athletic guy that you're usually not going to see at the nose tackle. So you don't want to get aggressive and then lose quickly. So we get into our set. We want to keep the head-to-head relationship, right? We don't want him getting to our sides. We don't want him to time up our punch, which is good, right? We don't want to time up our punch, but what it does is it leaves your chest exposed. And you see how Ward's able to, bam, bring that power. JMS doesn't have the longest arms in the world, right? Arm length is a little bit of an issue. We're having a hard time breaking arms off us. Luckily Runyon comes to help, but that's pressure. Here, very similar. Again, versus Jihad Ward. Same thing, right? We're not getting aggressive in this pass set. We're getting back a bit. We've got the head-to-head. That's exactly what we want. D lineman has space, right? That's when they time up your punch, is when you have that space. They catch your punch. They get quick movement. So you throw that punch a little late, but Ward has got momentum. And he just brings power into the chest. And that's where I'm not taking any victory laps, because Ward is not someone that I really respect as a pass rusher. I don't care if he's an edge working on the inside. You shouldn't be getting bowled by him, even though he is a strong player. And then this stunt, right? This is another play that I'll get debated. Obviously not a sack. So at first I'm like, why is Van Roten's got to come off and pass this and pick this up? All right, so Van Roten has to get off at this point. You see this looper, you've got to get off of this. So JMS isn't really able to get off this anyways, even if it's allowed to. But what I realize is that Jihad Ward is holding him. Right, so he's not even able to get, that should have been a call of defensive holding. I wanted to put that play in there. And then in the run game, nothing special in the run game. Again, Giants didn't have a ton of run opportunities, and a lot of stuff was just backside assignment for JMS. But here you're running inside zone. You'd like to get a little more square with this D lineman, but you don't. All right, that's kind of an issue with JMS. But if you don't, get low, drive your feet. create a little hole for Singletary. But this is like and again, this isn't against the best D lineman in the world with Minnesota. I think that's Harrison Phillips. He just struggles to, one, get to the placement that he wants to, but really just drive power on these wide zone blocks. Right? You want to have your helmet like cleanly on this side. That's where you want your hat placement to be. But you want to be in a spot where you are driving through this player, right? So we are not just pushing out, but we're pushing up too. And this D lineman's just kind of playing games, being able to play both gaps. Right? So Singletary can't run and hit this hole because the D lineman's there. He cuts off of it. D lineman's here. Right? So good job by Singletary by setting that D lineman up. But that's just an issue I worry with JMS. And then here, this is on John Runyon too. This is just a bad double team. I mean, you can't be getting split by 97. Actually put this a little more on Runyon because JMS is more square. You know, you want Runyon's hip to be here. But then JMS, I think, leaves a little too early on this, even though this is JMS's guys to clean up. But this, to me, I put a little more on Runyon. So nothing crazy, but a good pass-a-test game for JMS in week 1. This may be the most refreshing segment I've done in a long time on the offensive line report. And it's because how bad this position has been since I've been doing this. You know, I started doing these O-line reports in 2020. That meant Cam Fleming was playing right tackle. That meant Nate Solder was playing right tackle. That meant that Evan Neal was playing right tackle as a rookie. And you're talking about a rookie. Is there any good signs? Can it get better? It doesn't look like it is. And then 2023, it's year 2 of Evan Neal, and he looks just as bad. And finally, I just have a right tackle I'm confident in. Right? This is the first time I've been able to do this segment. And it's so refreshing, right? After watching Andrew Thomas be so good, now you have someone who you can trust in Jermaine Eluemunor. So let's break it down, because I thought it was a really good game for him in pass protection. Because you just see he understands the tackle position. He knows what he's capable of. He's patient. He trusts his technique. And it's really cool to watch, right? So we see we're getting off out of our stance quick, right? But there's no panic. We're reading that third step. We got good proportion that we want with the edge rusher, right? We haven't overset to give him an inside go. We're not, we're not getting to our landmarks and allowing him to get to the corner. This is what you want, right? We're not punching and lunging, right? We're going to throw a hand out there. And the defensive end says, I'm going to attack that and spin. Okay, well, guess what? I'm patient. You're going to do that spin? All right, I'm here. I'm working right with you. My hands are ready, right? Once you turn around, my hands are ready. My hands are on you now. This rep is over, regardless of my right guard coming to help. That's awesome right there. All right, here, this next snap versus this little stud. Like what Van Ginkel's trying to do here is do this stutter to get Eluemunor to overcorrect to the inside and then get around the corner, and Eluemunor's just patient. I mean, we're good in our pass set. 1, 2, 3. This is the proportion we want. Van Ginkel's got nowhere to go, right? Unless he wants to just bolt through him, and he's not in a spot to do that. So let's throw this little stutter, right? Let's see if I can get him to work, to take a step down because he's worried about getting beat inside and then get around the corner. Nope. Right? We're gonna take that step down, right? We're gonna put our post foot down, right here. But we're still in a position we want, right? We didn't put the post foot down here or over correct. We're just here, right? We're face to face. That's what we want. All right, now I got to give a weak power move. Bam, play over. Next play. Just strong hands. Lock them up. Get to your landmarks. Punches a little high. But we got strength in those hands, right? We got power. See, our feet are good. right? We're absorbing that power. Duck walking back. He wants to counter inside because DJ's moving. Don't let him go. Hands locked on him. Next play. Absorb this power. Replace your hands. Right? You want to work speed to power? That's sick. Right? So our hands are high because of that speed to power move. Take that right hand. Replace it. Drop your ass. Duck walk, anchor. And even then, he's got the long arm, but we got our hands ready to go. No matter what you do, we got our hands ready to go. Next. This little stutter bull move, right? Trying to get him off balance. Right? This little da-da-da-da. See how there's no panic, right? We're just patient. Do your little stutter move. What you've just done is slow down your momentum, and that power is just not there. Right? We're duck walking back. Interception, Daniel Jones. Here versus a cross chop. Just replace. Right, so he's got this hand. Right. We put this right hand out. We're working independent hands. Right. We throw this jab out, and the pass rusher does a good job. Right, cross chops it, but we got good balance. And when he chops that hand, right, we don't get our weight moving forward. We just throw that left hand. Bam. Pull our right hand. Work those hands off of you. Keep your feet moving. Reload. I mean, just good shit. Right? This was what I thought was his worst play in pass protection on this jump set because it's play action, right? So we got to get out there. We got to get aggressive. Good spot getting here. You just got to keep your feet moving. Again, this is not the most fun pass set to have as an offensive tackle, but you just got to keep your feet moving and you wash them around, and you would probably get a big play to Theo Johnson. So we got to check it down the belly. Now, this is something that showed up with the Raiders. It showed up in training camp, and it showed up here. And it works majority of the times, but this is where if I had any worries about Eluemunor is when he faces better rushers who can do a better job absorbing this and having bend around the corner, is this. A lot of times, he's just tossing, he is getting to his landmark, right? He's getting his punch, and if a guy's trying to work the corner, he's got strength, so he can throw guys out of the club. And what he'll do is try and just deliver a punch that works him around the corner, right? If the QB drops back a little further than expected, if this guy has bend and that punch doesn't work, it can get you in trouble. But it does work here, right? This little at this point, if he's not in the spot that he wants, right? Instead of trying to keep his feet moving, he just tosses, works to toss him. And again, it works there. That's a good job. But I have seen it get him in trouble before too. Because sometimes if the quarterback drops a little deeper, he'll literally push a guy into the quarterback. Right? You're going to see the same thing here. Obviously, this is with the context of a one-step drop. But not everything always goes the way you expect, right? So he understands the offense. He understands what you're doing. But ideally, you would rather just, at this point, just set one more step. Stonewall him out here instead of pushing him around the corner. It works. It's in the offense. Again, you see it here again, right? 1, 2. We get our feet, quick feet. So you just take that extra step. I know you want to protect your inside, but take that extra step, and he's not able to get to this corner where you're tossing him around. And then here's some just good stunt pickup between him and GVR, right? Stay connected. When they're lined up like this, you they're giving it away. They're going to run some games at you. So don't overset. Stay connected. Be patient. And as soon as you see that move, power down. Allows Van Roten to come off. Bam. And you'll see it again. Right, you get a little help from Theo on this one. Just realizing he's lining up here for a reason. So don't overset because you're worried about Van Ginkel. Stay connected with your guard. Got that feeler hand out there. Cool, pass it off. And this is that one where we talked about before with the holding on ward. So again, just the most refreshing breakdown I've done on this film segment in a long, long time. Gonna finish off with Greg Van Roten at right guard. Just gonna show you some clips. Not really gonna break down much in this. I mean, he was their worst performance, but I do want to talk about some numbers that go with it because he gave up 2 QB hits and 2 pressures, right? So 4 total pressures in pass protection. Just to compare to last year. Last year, the Giants had 27 offensive line performances of the same or worse than that. They had 10 performances where guys gave up 6 or more, and then they had 3 where guys had either 3 or 10 or more, and then 3 where guys had either 8 or more. 45 offensive linemen had worse performances than him in week 1. So this was certainly not good, and you saw some of the bad that he had shown in the past. Like this play right here, right? That's the main issue for Greg Van Roten. If you watch the film breakdown when the Giants signed him, is letting guys get upfield on his outside shoulder, right? That's the stuff that shows up. But he was far from just a disaster who was blowing up plays from the beginning of the game to the end. It was just kind of like normal bad, which is I would take this as the Giants' worst performance 17 weeks out of 17. So I hope you guys enjoyed the offensive line report. Surprisingly, the bright spot of a very bad Giants week 1. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, let's go Big Blue.